Pretty Mohandas and I'm here to meet Gina and Anne-Marie, who are part of the exhibitions team at Camden Arts Centre. Could you introduce yourself and just tell me a bit about the shows at Camden Arts Centre right now?
I'm Gina Buenfeld, I'm the exhibitions coordinator here.
And I'm Anne-Marie Watson, I'm the exhibitions programmer. And the two shows we've got on right now are David Ashkevold, a Canadian artist, and in Gallery 3, which is just over there, Mathilde Rosier, who's a young French artist.
What are your roles within the exhibitions team?
My role is to work with the director on the programme of the gallery and also manage the exhibitions team as a whole.
Well, I work more on the production side of the shows. So, for example, with the David Ashkevold exhibition, I worked on coordinating the loans of the exhibition to begin with, and then liaising with the lenders, making sure the insurance is covered, and then working on the transport, bringing the works here. Then there are things like the publications from the exhibitions and the images. So I work with Anne-Marie, kind of doing those together, and I think that's it.
Could you tell me a bit about your experience before you started working at Camden?
I did a fine art degree at Glasgow School of Art a few years ago now. And then once I graduated, I set up a space, like a little artist one space with a friend. So we did that for a while, and I then kind of thought, well, do I want to be an artist? Do I want to be a curator? What do I want to do? Do I want to earn some money? Yes, please. So I went for a job at a place called Dundee Contemporary Arts in Scotland and got it as assistant curator there. And then I've kind of just been working my way kind of into different positions and higher positions since then.
I also started off wondering whether or not I wanted to be an artist and went to foundation, did that and kind of felt like maybe it wasn't the right thing for me, maybe I wasn't talented enough. So then I went into more the production side. I did arts management, BA, and then I did my master's in art history at Goldsmiths and sort of went more into the critical writing side of things, and then started working in commercial galleries. So I worked in 3 different galleries, the last one being Alison Jakes. And it's actually very similar to what I do here, kind of producing the shows. I was working quite closely with the artists there, so I was artist liaison and director at the last gallery that I worked at. But in the end, felt like I wanted to come into the public sector, so I came here 2 years ago.
So how are exhibitions chosen and what's involved in realising them?
We show the work of emerging artists, we show the work of international artists who are at a kind of significant point in their career, and then we show survey shows which may be curated by an artist, so it's kind of an artist-selected show that is their choice. So we tend to kind of programme thinking about those ideas constantly.
It happens quite a way in advance as well,
Oh,
so that's something that's really different to my last job, because we used to make a decision about a show about 3 months before we actually put it on, whereas here we're already working on shows in 2013 almost, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
So it starts to happen a long time in advance, and that's partly, it's a lot of reasons, but part of it is when you apply for a loan of a work, like this piece, for example, you're supposed to apply about a year in advance. In terms of answering the other part of your question, like what actually happens when you put a show together, sort of first of all research which works you want in the show, find out where they are, contact the person who's got it, and then work on the transport, actually thinking about bringing it over. Then once it's here, condition checking it, making sure everything's okay, and then the installation starts. So it's a sort of long process building up to the point where it actually is in the gallery.
So how closely do you work with the artists?
We probably see their shows, and then we try and meet them and have a studio visit. And then once we've kind of decided that we want to work with them and do a show, then we will kind of continue to have a dialogue with them really until the day that they arrive at the gallery. So, you know, we really kind of discuss what they might want to show. We talk about how they might possibly do it. And also we kind of put together these small file notes where they get to give us their reading, listening, viewing list. So they get to kind of tell us, and obviously the audience, what things inspire them as well. So, yeah, I would say it's a very kind of symbiotic relationship that we're kind of working for each other in a way in order to kind of get the best exhibition in the end.
What advice would you give to someone who wanted to maybe go into curation or working in an exhibitions team?
I think that people in the art world respect you if you're willing to get out there and talk to people and kind of do it yourself. I think that adage DIY is quite a good one.
I definitely agree with that. I did 3 internships before I got my first job, so that was definitely really important for me. I did an internship in New York in a gallery and then 2 in galleries in London, and I think in terms of experience it's really important, but also making contact with people and just sort of networking a little bit is a good way of kind of getting a foot in the door, because it's very competitive.
I think it's good to go for what you want and to be really passionate about it as well, because people really respond to passion.